tonight in Salt Lake City, Utah. We welcome you to Dumke Family Softball Stadium. Game 2 of this 3-game Big 12 series. The 21st ranked Oklahoma State Cowgirls take on the Utah Utes. With the former Ute star, Laurel Simmons, Chris Sylvester, our entire crew, Oklahoma State behind another gem from Ruby Malin, the reigning Big 12 co-pitcher of the week. Another complete game effort, and she held off the Utes for a 2-1 win. Oklahoma State's first ever game in Salt Lake City, and they find a way to hit the win column, now 5-5 through their first 10 Big 12 contests.
Ruby came through when she needed to. As many times as Utah pushed and pushed and pushed and had some great runs, she took care of the Utah batters when it really mattered.
Utah threatened the entirety of the night, but only able to push across the one run. Today, as the Utes try and even up this series, they will give the softball to Shelby Jones, who's 11th in the country with her 1.34 earned run average. Had a no-hitter here earlier this month against Abilene Christian. She has been one of the most improved pitchers in the country.
To add the extra pitchers to her arsenal has really helped the Utes this year and kept those hitters off beat.
Mia Gomez, the freshman phenom for the Utes, continues to make history. Last night with a 7th inning single, set a new program record on base safely in 34 straight games.
She is as calm and smooth as they come. For a freshman, she is playing a lot more mature than what you'd expect.
Gomez will try and lead the Utes back into the win column as Utah goes for a Game 2 victory here at home in Salt Lake City. Number 21, Oklahoma State, and the Utes will get things started right after this. Degree evening here at Dumke Family Softball Stadium. We're just about ready for the second of 3 this weekend. Oklahoma State improving to 23-10, 5-5 in the Big 12 with their victory last night. Utah 25-9 now overall, 4-3 in conference play, embarking on their 8th Big 12 game of the season. Amy Hogue, who was honored before the game, some cool Amy Hogue 500 win giveaway hats here, and among other things, celebrated on the field with her team before the game. And I think the only thing that would make it sweeter would be for Utah to get back in the win column here tonight.
Absolutely, and don't forget the signature on the side of the hat. She had Mary Bowman, who was her athletic director for a greater part of her career, through the first pitch, and I think the emotions are high. The players had the hats on, the 500 Utah hats, and they've got their fire red. I have to think that's Coach Hogue's favorite uniform, and that's why they're wearing it today. And you know, it's a game of inches, and yesterday it was just missed opportunities. The opportunities were there. They were just missed. And I think they'll come out a different team today.
Shelby Jones, the Bluffdale, Utah native, second-year Ute by way of Salt Lake City College, gets the starting assignment. She has dazzled in the circle. 4 innings of shutout softball. Last time she pitched Tuesday here against Weber State. She won her 9th game of the season. This is her 13th start. And we'll try and replicate the complete game victory she had a week ago in Lawrence against the Kansas Jayhawks. And you put together this scouting report on what to expect from Shelby Jones.
Well, look, a lot of times, you know, we have the new pitching coach, Coach Carl Golan, and he comes in and he sees something different in Shelby and has emphasized some different pitches that she's been working hard on. And it's just given her more to do in the arsenal. And also these hitters have to keep their emotions in check as they're watching the pitcher's emotion. That's an extra thing they have to do to stay calm. And I think if she can get ahead, we'll see even more of what she's got.
Tia Warsop in the batter's box. Kelly Demianu calling the balls and strikes. And we're underway with game 2, a pitch that misses low and outside. Utah putting Kayla Lyon behind the plate for Shelby Jones' start today. Kennedy Proctor still in the starting lineup. Out in right field for the Utes here in the middle game of this series. Warsop checks in, .348 batting average. Pair of doubles, a homer, and 9 RBIs. Picked up a base hit last night out of the leadoff spot, and a game where runs were at a premium. Both teams scored in the 3rd inning. There were goose eggs across the box score outside of that, and what wound up being a 2-1 Cowgirl win. Warsop drops the bunt down. Jones picks it up, fires to first base. And with Haley White, the second baseman, covering, Utah records the first out of the game.
And that's really pivotal to be able to get ahead like that. And I think about how much Utah pushed it yesterday. And anyone who's out there watching Utah, they might think Utah pushed it a little too hard yesterday. But when you're going against someone like Ruby Malin, you are in a situation where her ERA is so low, you know that she's averaging less than 2 runs a game, and you've got to push it.
Called strike into Rosie Davis, the starting 3rd baseman, junior from Readyville, Tennessee. Picked up her 150th career hit in a Cowgirl uniform last night. Home runs in 4 of her last 6 games. As she fouls it back to the netting behind home plate. Shelby Jones in front here, 0-2.
And she's no stranger to the long ball, and the way these hitters swing, there's no question that even on this very long extended field, a lot can happen.
One and 2 here on Rosie Davis. Oklahoma State, after last night's victory, they've now won 6 of their last 7. They beat Tulsa on the road 10-7 Wednesday to open this road trip. And they'll be on the road for the next week plus, with games after this Utah series at Wichita State and back into the Big 12 at Iowa State next week. There's strike 3 called over the inside edge. Shelby Jones rings up Rosie Davis and sits her down for the second out.
And you know what's interesting about that? You're trying to get a feel for what the Blues going to do, and they even scout umpires because everybody kind of has their zone as long as they're fair on both sides, and it's just interesting how much these teams scout. They scout everything, every situation you can imagine.
Carly Godwin going after the first pitch, skies it foul out of play.
And you think about this being Utah's home field. It's a Saturday. You've got these stands filled, and you want to take advantage of the home field advantage. It's not going to be very friendly over there in Florida next week. Easter weekend, I'm sure everyone's family will be out.
As a base hit for Carly Godwin. Oklahoma State as the first base runner of the game here with 2 outs in the top of the first.
Excellent job sitting back, and really it's hard to get those through the infield with where they were playing, and she just popped it out there, and great job.
30th hit of the season for Carly Godwin. Gives way to Claire Tim, who had a double last night.
And you were pretty impressed with some of her cuts yesterday. Sometimes you zero in on the opposing team, some of the hitters, and obviously a senior, a lot of experience, and you can tell by the way she swings the bat.
Haley Mastretti, who essentially matched Ruby Malin pitch for pitch last night, had a rough stretch of about 3 batters in the 3rd inning, gave up 3 straight 2-out hits, which led to both runs for Oklahoma State. But outside of that, the Cowgirls really struggled to find success against the Utah Southpaw. But it was Claire Tim who doubled to the gap in left center field as part of that 2-run 3rd. She sends this one down the right field line and might have extra bases again. Proctor with trouble picking up the ball. Coming home, throw to the plate is offline. Carly Godwin motors all the way around from first base on a run-scoring double for Claire Tim.
This is a prime example of what this field can do to you, taking the Utah defense out into that corner. You have no margin to bobble at all and get this in. And then, of course, Coach G doing a great job sending them all the way. Even if it was a clean shot there, they would have brought it around. And yesterday, these runs were so hard to come by. You just are so relieved when you can see them come early.
So the 2-out magic for Oklahoma State again in this weekend series. And now Amanda Hassler, who had both Cowgirl RBIs last night, is hit by a pitch. And 3 straight have reached with 2 outs for the Cowgirls.
And I assure you, this is not after-the-fact inspiration, but these kinds of things at this level come back and have come back to haunt Utah here in the early parts of this game. Runners on, walks, hit by pitch. You usually see them haunt you in the end.
Hassler taking the first one off the elbow guard. And it puts 2 on with 2 out for Lexi McDonald, who has just 4 hits across 18 at-bats on the season. McDonald takes ball 1. The senior from Silo, Oklahoma, clubbed her first home run of the season against BYU at home last weekend. Cowgirls took 2 of 3 from the Cougars in Stillwater. Took the first 2 games of that series before dropping the finale. Ball 2 from Shelby Jones, trying to find that final out here in the top of the first after recording the first 2 outs with ease. The 3rd one's been tougher to come by for the junior right-hander. And that's ball 3.
And I think it's just settling in. You know, you warm up on and off throughout the game. It's a later game. You've got to get in your groove, even though this is your home field. Big crowd for Utah here on a Saturday early evening. And Shelby's from Utah, and she'd like nothing more than to really control this game, and she'll get into her rhythm. There's no doubt she will, and she's a pitcher you'll see talk to her catcher more than you can notice the catcher's talking to her, because she's a lot more animated with her arm movements.
3-1 on McDonald. Schneidmiller on deck for Oklahoma State. And it's lifted in the air, shallow left. Out goes Shanti Pasi, and the shortstop puts away out number 3. But the Cowgirls strike early at Claire Tim, run-scoring double. It's Oklahoma State 1, the Utah Utes coming up.
Hi, I'm Andy, and I'm an underachiever.
Hi, Andy.
One day you wake up, and you realize I'm not growing. I'm not doing anything.
Well, Andy, you know whose fault that is, right? It's Gavin's. If Gavin had gone to America First Credit Union, Andy, you could be growing in a high-yield certificate right now.
Get your money working with amazing certificate rates at America First.
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Towering above the University of Utah campus are the stunning Wasatch Mountains. They serve as inspiration for the towering breakthroughs that happen on campus. Like a thought-controlled prosthetic hand that can feel and move, or using metallurgy to manufacture a titanium alloy and 3D printing to lower costs. It's the impact of a culture of collaboration and innovation, and of a university that is always climbing.
Here come the Utah Utes after Oklahoma State strikes for a run in the top of the first inning. Utah held to just one run in that 2-1 series opening loss last night. Some shuffling around to the batting order. Shanti Posse moves up to the 3 spot. Kayla Lyon, the catcher, will hit cleanup. Haley White moves up from the 9 spot to hit 5th. Kennedy Proctor moves down in the order, followed by Sion Noli, Peyton Crank, and Jolie Mayfield. Against the true freshman from Owasso, Oklahoma, just outside of Tulsa, Presley Downing. Will try and piggyback off the impressive complete game effort from Ruby Malin last night.
Absolutely, and Coach Gajewski talks a lot about his pitching staff, that they're much better if the additional pitchers, aside from Ruby, that we've talked about a lot, come through with even innings for them. There's a lot of pressure if they don't, and Utah, I'm sure, just with every swing of the bat, wants to take advantage of their opportunities here early.
Downing last pitched a week ago against BYU. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, and no decision against the Cougars in a game that BYU would ultimately win 7-3 over Oklahoma State. Before that, 2 innings, allowed 1 run at Arizona State a couple weekends ago. So Mia Gomez, fresh off making some history in the 7th inning last night, has reached base safely in 34 consecutive games. Will try and stretch her own streak up to 35 if she can reach base safely here in this game. 4 outfielders for Oklahoma State, and Gomez beats the shift. Well, they vacated the 3rd base spot, put Rosie Davis in the outfield, and it backfires on the Cowgirls.
Wow, that was just a game of chicken there. Absolutely incredible job by Mia Gomez to go with that pitch and take it right in the opening.
You don't see too many shifts in college softball, but Kenny Gajewski putting an extra outfielder out there against Mia Gomez, who flew out to the warning track in left field, narrowly missed a home run last night, and instead picks up where she left off in the 7th inning. That on-base streak grows to 35 games. And here's Danica Wilson, who takes a called strike. Wilson, another freshman that is really impressed early in her Utah career. 373 batting average, 5 doubles, 6 homers, 29 RBIs.
These freshmen have been such an impact that out in the community, I'm already hearing, oh, number 10, Danica Wilson's my favorite player. Mia Gomez, Sion Knoll, different people are saying they're connecting with different new faces for Utah. They've been so fun to watch.
Wilson goes the other way. And the Utes lead off the home half of the first with back-to-back hits.
Well, and I don't think it's the worst thing for Oklahoma State to have scored first. I think sometimes Utah needs a little motivation to get going early. They have been a late game, 2-out kind of team leading up to this point, but they're coming out with purpose here and taking advantage of the time that they're feeling good.
And taking advantage of a juncture against Oklahoma State where they're not facing Ruby Malin.
There's that too. I mean, Ruby's such a force, and you know, obviously her reputation has been earned. You don't get to her point by just waking up every day and doing nothing, and so I think right now the Utes are just trying to do what they can to match up this game.
Shanti Posse pulls back the bunt attempt and falls behind against Presley Downing at 0-2. Well, we don't expect Downing to eat up many innings today. She has only gone more than 5 innings in a game 3 times this year.
Well, and I think any time a pitcher can get out there and get experience, that's what you're really going for.
Posse with a line drive, gloved over at first base by McDonald for the first out here in the home half of the first.
Utah's doing a great job going with these pitches. I know that pitch for me, my forte was to maybe try to take that, you know, up the left field line when that's not what that pitch is meant to do. So really impressive seeing Posse go with the pitch. Just didn't fall there.
Nice block from Schneidmiller, the catcher, on a pitch that bounced up there. Kayla Lyon, the cleanup hitter for Utah, starting catcher today.
And the one thing you don't want if you're Utah is to be shut down in this situation, because that's a real momentum killer.
Lyon foul tips it into the glove of Schneidmiller for strike 1.
And Utah is dealing with totally different looks, different speed, different ball release, different stature. They're having to kind of relearn their timing here.
Off-speed pitch, drilled to left. It's deep, Worse up to the wall and off the top of the fence. Gomez got a late jump, barely coming around third, and she slides in safely. RBI double for Kayla Lyon, and Utah answers back.
That was a little close for me, and there has been a situation where we've had a runner pass Gomez, and I think there was just a little bit clunky in that situation, but great job getting on your horse, as they say, and getting around, even though it wasn't pretty.
Kayla Lyon, by a matter of a couple of feet, missing a 3-run home run, but does tie the game on an RBI double and sets up Haley White with a chance to give Utah its first lead of the weekend. Oklahoma State brings the infield in. White drops down a bunt. The glove flip to the plate, not in time. Wilson slides in, and Utah takes the lead.
And that was that unexpected. Here we have the outfielders way back. We have the infielders way in. The last person in the world you think is going to drop that bunt is Kayla Lyon, and there she is executing it, and came out positive for Utah.
So Utah squeezes home the go-ahead run.
You really don't see the squeeze as much as you used to back in the old days.
So 4 of the first 5 have reached base safely for Utah against the true freshman Presley Downing. And the Utes are hoping this is an even bigger inning. They're at the corners for Proctor. She takes a called strike. Nobody covering second base with the infield in. And it's an easy steal for Haley White.
Did I just call Haley White Kayla Lyon? I want to make sure I give credit to Haley White on that excellent drop bunt. They sit out there a lot together.
1 ball, 1 strike here on Proctor, who much of the last few weeks has hit second behind Mia Gomez, but Amy Hogue shuffling around the batting order, hoping to get the offense back on track after they were held to just 1 run last night.
And no coach in this day and age is fearful of moving things around, moving people out of the game, moving people in. And right now we have an excessively sucked in infield. We've got a lot of space in between the outfielders right now, especially in that center right. We'll see if Proctor can drop one in.
2 balls, 2 strikes to the sophomore who took home freshman All-American honors after a terrific first season here in Salt Lake City last year. Second team All Big 12. On 2-2 from Presley Downing. And Proctor pokes it into right field. It hangs up for Tim. Tagging from third and coming home is Kayla Lyon with a third first inning run for Utah. Proctor gets the job done with a sacrifice fly.
I think Haley thought that was going to drop, or definitely she didn't think she'd have time to tag up, but really smart job on Lyon to tag on that. You have to execute these little things we found yesterday that just one thing goes Utah's way and at least it's a tie.
Sion Noli will be the 7th Ute to bat here in the home half of the first. Amy Hogue has to love the urgency her offense has come out with after being held to the 1 run last night. Already 3 runs on 3 hits, and there's a line shot foul. Lloyd Davis was playing right over the third base bag and was not going to let anything get by her in fair territory.
Yeah, Noli has really been fun to watch. I spent a little time with some of the parents before the game, a cohesive group of parents this year. And it was funny, the freshman parents were hanging around with each other. You know, they're both, you know, we've got we've got Mia Gomez's mother, Sion Noli's, and they're sticking together as freshman moms. I loved it. Learning the ropes of traveling into Utah. Utah has been successful at this 2-out scenario. Didn't have as much success yesterday, but they are a team that's used to that, even last year, coming back in some really big rallies.
Right over the outside corner, full count on Noli. Peyton Crank would be next. The night after Ruby Malin threw 125 pitches to get through Utah. The 22nd first inning pitch coming here from Presley Downing. And Noli in on the hands towards the middle. Behind the bag at second. The throw comes home. White will stay put at third. Infield knock for Noli. And Utah, they keep the line moving.
And that is that danger zone position. As a coach, I practice this all the time. That loop behind second, there's absolutely almost zero you can do about that in the defense when the runners are going all the way with 2 outs. Any other scenario with less than 2 outs, the runners would never be going like that. They'd be freezing, and that's a tough break for the Cowgirls.
Peyton Crank will try and keep it going for the home team. 3 runs on 4 hits already, as Crank takes off the outside for ball 1. The only 2 outs that have been made in this inning, a Shanti Posse line out and the Kennedy Proctor sac fly.
Successful outs for the Utes. And it's interesting with this first and third situation, you know, it really depends on what they'll decide to do with speed or a scenario where they maybe have the speed at third that they can maybe get that run in before the outs happens at second. I know in high school is almost rarely successful throwing it down, but you see defenses at this level really succeed at this situation with the runners.
There's the 2-1 from Downing. And Crank cuts through it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, you know who's loving this? Shelby Jones. She gives up that run in the top of the first. Her offense picks her up in a big way.
Yeah, and I want to mention, you know, you never know how things are going for pitchers as far as.
Down the right field side and tailing into foul territory. It lands a foul ball.
Are they a pitcher that really interacts with their teammates? Are they kind of in the circle and then go to the bullpen and don't have a lot of interaction? But on multiple accounts, I talk to credible sources that say that she is quite a teammate. She scores high. They have an accountability test that they give each other that they made the questions on. The team made the questions. It's called the standards. And if they're not cutting it in those categories, their teammates give them a bad grade.
Line drive, base hit left field. Peyton Crank delivers with 2 outs. It's 4-1 Utes.
Excellent job working that count and staying in. And one thing I've noticed about Crank, she does not change her swing and get into a really bad swing when she's evening up that you know, 2-2 count, 2-1 count, where she might feel behind. She sticks with her swing, and that's why she could be successful like that.
So Utah, they have batted around. Jolie Mayfield, who's hitting 9th today, getting a chance to hit here in the home half of the first. 4 runs on 5 hits. And Mayfield trying to keep it moving for Utah against Presley Downing. That's on the outside corner. Downing jumps in front, 0-2.
A calm, cool, and collected player, a smart player, a successful standout in Utah, Riverton High School graduate.
Ball 1 to Mayfield, who homered here on Tuesday in Utah's blowout win over Weber State. One of 4 home runs the Utes launched in that run rule victory against the Wildcats. 2 on with 2 out, 4 runs in for Utah in the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And off speed, but it gets away from Schneidmiller. And Mayfield will reach on a dropped third strike to bring up Mia Gomez again.
And that's that student of the game. So many times batters are in that situation and they kind of forget that, you know, with 2 outs, it's a different story. You know, first base can be occupied, and third strike drop, you can go ahead and hit the bag. And it so much says so much about Jolie and who she is as a player. She knows the game, she knows the details, and because of it, she's on base right now.
Carrie Eberly Parker, former Big 12 Pitcher of the Year in her time with the Cowgirls back in 2021, out to pay a visit to Presley Downing, who made her best pitch of the inning to strike out Jolie Mayfield. It just got away, and Downing is done. So Utah, they send up all 9 starters in the batting order, and they're still hitting here with the dangerous Mia Gomez coming up. And Oklahoma State will put Riley Crandall in the circle to try and quiet the Ute bats. Has batted around and still going here. 4 runs across for the Utes. Bases loaded. Mia Gomez getting set to bat for a second time in this frame. And Riley Crandall will come on in relief of Presley Downing. And the senior from Artesia, New Mexico, was with the Baylor Bears in the Big 12 her first 2 college seasons. Battled through some injuries across 22 appearances, 11 starts with the Cowgirls last year, and making her 19th appearance in the circle this season. 6-3 record, the earned run average 4.45. And this is not an easy spot for Crandall to check into, with Mia Gomez, the Utes' best hitter, at the dish and nowhere to put her with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Well, Crandall's got the experience being a senior. She's been to different places, and I think this is where you dial into all the things you've imagined, all the things you've practiced, and get ahead here. I mean, obviously Gomez is a tough out, but right now there's really not a lot of choice and to really have a great outing here with every pitch.
So Gomez, who got this inning started with a base hit to left field, now faces Riley Crandall, who misses with the first one. Crandall last appeared at Tulsa, did not fare well in the midweek victory. 5 hits, 5 runs across 2 1/3 innings. Ball 2 to Mia Gomez. Everything going right here for the Utes in this home half of the first. Gomez, who set the record with 34 consecutive games on base last night, stretched it to 35 with her single earlier in this inning. Off-speed pitch drops in there. It's 2-1.
And her off-speed pitch is, you know, they used to say, hey, 10 to 12 miles an hour slower than what people are used to. I have heard that her changeup is extra slow. To what point, I don't know, but you could tell that was really hanging on a string there.
Speeds it up, catches the outside edge. And it's 2-2 here on Gomez, who is a very tough customer to put away on strikes.
And that's the goal, is to keep her off balanced and keep it in the catcher's hands too. You don't want it to get past the catcher with this deep backstop that we've got.
Gomez stays alive. Big gap in right center field for Gomez. Well, that's a chance to run for a while if she can place one there. Would certainly clear the bases.
And all this preparation, you have to put it where you're supposed to put it in order for it to work out for how your defense is sitting.
A few rows back into the seats.
That's always such a relief as a pitcher when you can earn that strike there and it doesn't hurt you. And also as a hitter, that you're still alive. Even though you're in a vulnerable state, you're still alive in this situation.
Another 2-strike pitch. Gomez, that's fair. Into the left field corner. 2 runs in. Mia Gomez, her second hit of the inning, and it's 6-1 Utes.
The scouting report on her must have been stick it outside, and she is just going with it like crazy. It is unbelievable how she sits back and catches that later to go with the pitch. You actually have to be patient to make that pitch do that.
A pair of opposite field knocks for Mia Gomez in a massive last half of the first inning for the Utes. A 2-run double. Somehow got that by Rosie Davis, who was hugging the third baseline.
Yeah, she was right where she needed to be there. A lot of traffic, though, with the umpire, the coach, the runner. And she's leading off with that off speed that's, again, on a string.
Danica Wilson singled and scored earlier in this inning.
That's
Off speed.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that they feel confident. You know it's Crandall's confident in that off-speed pitch when you're seeing it twice. for a strike, might I add. That's really hard to do.
Another 2-strike pitch, and Wilson frozen by the offering from Crandall. She goes down looking, and the inning finally comes to an end, but not before Utah strikes for 6 runs on 6 hits. Quite the opening statement from the Utes here in Game 2 of the series. Tonight's game, the first 500 fans were congratulated and given 500 Amy Hogue win caps. And Amy was recognized on the field before the start of the game. Quite a moment for your former teammate who's done such a tremendous job here in almost 2 decades as the head coach of her alma mater.
She was pretty humble about it. She said, you know, that just means I've been here a long time, but I can assure you the enthusiasm that her parents show, that's exactly what they showed all those years ago in 1990, 91, 92, 93. And of course her kids, I'm sure her daughter Tessa would have loved to be here, but she is playing in her own game right now.
Yeah, for the Oregon State Beavers playing University of San Diego this weekend. So Shelby Jones, who left the circle with a 1-0 deficit at the end of the top of the first, retakes it with a 5-run lead here in the top of the second. Audrey Schneidmiller leading off for Oklahoma State, and talk to the importance of a potential shutdown inning here for Shelby Jones to keep the momentum in that third base dugout.
I think there's nobody that knows more than Shelby how she needs to get those hitters back over there with the bats in their hands. It would be very costly for Utah to extend this inning. And again, there's that changeup that she's been working hard on. And, you know, it's difficult for these pitchers because, you know, then they get in high altitude. The ball doesn't move as much here in Utah. They play all of their games for several weeks, at least 5 weeks or more, somewhere else, not at high altitude. For obvious reasons. And I've just been really impressed. And again, I said it yesterday and I'll keep saying it. Sometimes the improvement is so slow that, you know, it's the boiling frog. You don't notice how much better she's doing, but incredible leader.
On 2-2, Schneidmiller cues it foul off the end of the bat. Now this is only the 7th home game this season for Utah, and just their second Big 12 home game. Obviously, with the weather patterns here, it's not realistic to play a bunch of games at home in the month of February, but it's a lot different for most other teams in the country who have an opportunity to play some home games early in the season.
And the algorithm of you know.
That's whacked into left center field and dropped. Oh, Peyton Frank had it in her glove and just couldn't squeeze it.
What a great drop step she made there, and You know, if you turn the wrong direction, you're kind of in trouble. That's why we call it the blender. You're circling around trying to find where am I? I have so much space here. She made that drop step quick and really just made that last ditch effort because she is tall. That 5'11".
Second extra base hit of the game for Oklahoma State. And here's Aubrey Jones, the true freshman shortstop.
The home fans wanted that call there, which is great to hear that you know, your fans are behind you when you're playing at home.
Into right field, Proctor squeezes this one for the first out. A couple balls that have been squared up here against Shelby Jones. 1 on 1 out, Gabby Castillo coming up.
But I think especially the pitchers with this, you know, the fans are just starting to feel like, oh, the weather's really cooperating and it's time for baseball and softball and outdoor activities, and it's just been an unseasonably warm spring for Utah.
71 degrees at first pitch tonight as Castillo takes upstairs. It's a final from across the way at America First Ballpark. Utah baseball came back late and outslugged K-State 13-11 in the middle game of that series. So a rubber match tomorrow. Utah hoping it's a rubber match between Oklahoma State and the Utes here at Dumke Family Softball Stadium after Oklahoma State took the opener 2-1 last night. The Utes answering with 6 runs in the home half of the first today, and the knockout blow on Presley Downing, the Oklahoma State Game 2 starter. Castillo on the ground, easy play for Haley White. 2 outs.
You know, they did that great story about Haley White and her older sister who played softball as well, and I didn't know this, but there's actually 4 daughters. They don't all play softball, but most of them, and the other one's quite talented at competitive cheerleading. Lots of acrobatics and talents there, and you just see these entire families are just so athletic.
You think about how much time, how many hours go into the grind of each of those sports, and you know, the sacrifices that parents make to put their kids in youth sports and give them the best of opportunities to, you know, maybe earn a scholarship and play at this level. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Tia Warsop.
I always like to remind them how difficult it is to even get on a roster anywhere. I don't care if it's junior college, 4-year, mid-major, big time. It's tough to get on these post-high school teams.
One and two.
I did get it out of Haley's dad, though, that he did play baseball. So with the girls coming time and time again, 4 times over, he just had to insert himself a little bit with his baseball love and get into softball. So that's not the worst thing in the world.
Warsop fouls it back. You do see the connection all across the game. Just take Oklahoma State's head coach Kenny Gajewski as an example, a national champion baseball player against Oklahoma State's rival, Oklahoma, in his college playing days. And he has turned into one of the more well-recognized head coaching names in all the country. Warsop, routine play this time for Peyton Crank, and it's out number 3. So Oklahoma State, they get that leadoff double from Schneidmiller, but nothing else for the Cowgirls. It is a shutdown frame for Shelby Jones. It's all Utes after an inning and a half.
I can't express the importance of the donations that we get towards everything in our athletic department.
Every year you see somebody's life change. It's an incredibly rewarding experience to know that you're supported by people who see the work that you put in.
Being able to have this opportunity and play for such an amazing fan base has been a dream come true.
Yeah, it's just thinking about that gives me a little goosebumps. It's the energy that gives us the extra push.
Riley Crandall came on in relief of the Oklahoma State starting pitcher Presley Downing and recorded the final out. Back in the home half of the first, Utah hung 6 runs on 6 hits against the 21st ranked Cowgirls. And we'll send up Shanti Pasi, Kayla Lyon, Haley White here in the home half of the second, hoping to add on in game 2 of this 3-game series. 11 a.m. Mountain Time, first pitch tomorrow on getaway day for the Cowgirls.
And it's so early in this game, there's so much time for a lot of things to happen, and Utah needs to add to it.
That's driven in the air to left center field and gloved by Warsop shy of the warning track. So Shanti Pasi jumping on the first pitch from Riley Crandall, but flies out, 1 away.
We've seen a lot of those on the fence there, more than I've probably ever seen, that are hanging right there. Makes you wonder if there's something in the air that's holding them in. Not that it's an easy park to get out of, but when you see them go that high, they usually sneak over.
There is something to be said about the elevation here in Salt Lake City and how it helps the ball carry. But with the construction of this ballpark, how spacious the outfield is, it's a surprise to anybody that hasn't been here before. Just ask Oklahoma State. They had never played a game here prior to last night's series opener, and it took them a while at practice to get used to everything. As Kayla Lyon flies out to Claire Tim, 2 quick outs for Crandall in the second.
Well, I had a similar experience in my coaching days of being at University of San Diego and feeling like it was an undisputed home run, and the outfielders they weren't even really moving with any urgency. And it was one of those nights where the fog was kind of coming down, and it just hung right in the field. So those sea-level fields have an opposite. They'll hang in the park a little bit more.
Strike 1 to Haley White, who's got hits in the first 2 games of this series. A bunt single that squeezed home a run back in Utah's 6-run first.
And when the new yellow ball with the red strings was introduced, the bats had not caught up yet, but even still, standing out in center field, you just see the balls just move and jump, something that I had never really seen before, because I was a part of that ball transition when they were trying to move it to more of a, giving the pitchers a little more chance.
Crandall in search of a 1-2-3 second as White fouls away the 2-strike pitch. Haley White, the senior from Riverside, a 4th-year Ute team captain for a 2nd straight year. Diving stop. Jones won't be in time to get the speedy White. A terrific effort from the true freshman to stop it from rolling into the outfield, but it's the second knock for Haley White already in this game.
Outstanding play over there at short. The left side of the field has been incredible, knocking things down and taking away quite a bit from the Utes and probably costing them the chance to win last night. But that just, with the wheels of Haley White, there wasn't a shot at that one.
2-out knock for Haley White. Gives Kennedy Proctor an opportunity here in the second. Proctor contributed to the 6-run first with a sac fly. Her 30th RBI of the year.
There's a lot that's said about Proctor's balance in the box. And that helps a lot when you get that pitch.
Yeah, it's so tough to time up Crandall's changeup.
Yeah, she's really making that move, and it's a lot to do at this elevation.
1-2 here on Proctor. Haley White over there at first base, 5 stolen bases on the season, has not been caught. Although it's tough to risk taking the bat out of somebody like Proctor's hands.
Exactly, just a swing of the bat in today's game can make all the difference.
Hit hard. Jones will take this one herself to the bag at second, and the inning is over. So a 2-out hit for Haley White, but that's all for the Utes, as Riley Crandall shuts them down in the second. Salt Lake City, Dumke Family Softball Stadium. Utah 6-1 over number 21 Oklahoma State, with the great Laurel Simmons, Chris Sylvester, our producer Natalie Newton, director Bob Pearson. Middle game of this series, Oklahoma State a 1-run win last night, but Laurel, Utah really set the tone in this game, and while there's many outs to get for the Utes, 6 runs in the last half of the first inning woke up that third base dugout very early in this game.
And Utah needed to do that because here we have a 3-game series. So for Utah, this is the only game that matters right now to come out on top, because that third game just doesn't mean as much when it's not for the sweep. I mean, you always want to win, but
Rosie Davis leads off for the Cowgirls. Takes a called strike from Shelby Jones. Davis struck out looking her only time. It's the only strikeout so far for the Utah starting pitcher. Carly Godwin, Claire Tim scheduled after Davis here in the top of the third. That ball is driven deep to left center field and off the fence. Rosie Davis will put on the brakes around second with the second straight leadoff double for Oklahoma State.
That was kind of a strange ball. You see Danica go back and then is trying to play it off the wall, and then it doesn't quite come off as she's anticipating it. And Rosie does a great job just taking that too, and if any bobble would have occurred additionally, she probably would have taken 3.
The hit streak grows to 8 consecutive games for Davis, who's had a lot of extra base hits during that stretch. Oklahoma State already 3 doubles tonight. They were unable to cash in the leadoff double off Audrey Schneidmiller's bat last inning, and hoping the middle of the order can help them chip away at the deficit here in the top of the third. Carly Godwin singled her only time and sends a rocket foul.
The Cowgirls know how to score runs, and that is why any opponent is saying at a minimum, we've got to get 5 or 6 across, because it was an unusual scenario last night with Ruby on the mound to be held back to 1 run, and for them to only get 2 is unusual for this offense.
Two and one on Godwin. A junior from Lake Waccamaw in North Carolina. Off-speed pitch taken low, ball 3. And a walk. Oklahoma State threatening here with 2 on and nobody out. And the cleanup hitter, Claire Tim, coming to the plate. Tim, who had a double yesterday, knocked in the night's first run today with the first inning double against Shelby Jones.
As I was studying up on on the Cowgirls, she's got quite a high slugging percentage too, which always makes you take a second look.
Pulls back the bunt attempt, takes a called strike. Tonight, her 160th game at Oklahoma State. A senior from Buena Park in Southern California. Already 2 hits this weekend, had 3 hits in the BYU series at home in Stillwater last weekend. Drops down this bunt. It's picked up by Mayfield, and the out recorded at first base. Successful sacrifice places Davis at third and Godwin at second, with 1 out for Amanda Hassler, the DP.
You're always happy that you can still see these teams play the small ball, because Coach G's thinking, I've got a lot of innings left to go here, and I've got to get a couple across at least to start chipping away at this.
And there's no such thing as a 5-run home run, so chipping away is probably the right mentality for Oklahoma State. Amy Hogue just came out to have a brief conversation with the home plate umpire, Kelly Demianu.
I'm wondering if she felt like maybe one of her feet were out of the box or something on that bunt. I'm not exactly positive, but there weren't too many other things happening at that point.
Hassler only saw 1 pitch her first plate appearance and was hit on the elbow guard. Responsible for the offense last night for the Cowgirls, a 2-run single in the third, which wound up being enough for Ruby Malin. A second-year Cowgirl by way of NC State. That is just off the inside for ball 2.
She's way back in the box. Sometimes you wonder if they just don't want to be tempted with that rise ball of Shelby's. to sit back in the box deep and wait for the pitches to be done with their movement.
Ball 3. Lexi McDonald on deck. There is an open base at first, but up 5 runs, there's no need to gift Oklahoma State extra base runners.
Yeah, I don't think this would be the situation they'd want to put her on for sure, but you never know. Sometimes they say just, hey, don't make it too great. Don't intentionally walk them, but don't make it too great.
That winds up being a 4-pitch walk to Hassler. And the Cowgirls have loaded the bases with 1 out for Lexi McDonald's spot. And she will come to bat here, but not before Carl Golan, the Utah pitching coach, comes out to have a visit with Shelby Jones and Kayla Lyon, her battery mate.
And to have a hitter like this, McDonald coming up, I mean, textbook getting that ball on the right side of the field here in this situation. Sacrifice fly, even a grounder, depending on where Utah's playing, which I think Coach Gibson's talking that over, what kind of defense they're going to show, because at a certain point you have to choose what you're going to do. Sometimes you don't look good depending on what happened, but you've got to choose. And so Coach Kaya Gibson is saying, okay, this is the strategy, this is what we're going for, and they have to communicate quite a bit between pitching coach, defensive coach, and a lot of these, all of the assistant coaches of today have a lot of autonomy and a lot of freedom to lead within their categories. Head coach oversees it all.
So a big spot in this game. Utah up 5 runs, but the Cowgirls threatening to skinny the gap. First ball swinging, base hit. Lexi McDonald comes through. Wilson has trouble with it. Now the throw to third, and not in time. Oh, it looked like the throw and maybe even the tag beat the runner at third base, but the call on the field is safe.
Yeah, I think she's saying you have to look at the position of the umpire and see if they had a good look at that. This is a great view of it, and
I think the foot maybe gets in there before the tag. Very close, and it doesn't appear Utah will challenge. So Lexi McDonald comes through with a 2-run single to make it 6-3. And because of the bobble in center field from Wilson, the Cowgirls have him at second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, and this is the strategy here. You know, here we have a 6-1, first a 1-0, and you're thinking, wow, yesterday we could never get past this. We couldn't get past that 1 run. Then you see Utah come out, score 6 runs in the first, but it's so early. You know that the Cowboys aren't even Cowgirls are not even flinching because they know that their offense can chip and chip and chip. And you can just tell by their demeanor they're not pressing. And I think right now Utah needs to, yes, worry about those runners, but at the same time worry about that next out.
Libby J. Hughes will come on to pinch run for Lexi McDonald. And you bring up some great points there, Laurel, because when we talked to Amy Hogue a night before this series began, as there's a line drive, base hit to center field. Another run comes in as Hassler scores from third, and just like that, it's a 2-run game. Amy Hogue didn't want her team to get comfortable if they took a 5-run lead early in a game, and this is exactly why.
Exactly, and they have been a come from behind late in the game team, and I think what the entire coaching staff is trying to get across to the Utes is you've got to come sooner or you might run out of time. And sometimes we've got pitching coach for Utah, Coach Golan, coming out and saying, hey, we might want to mix this up a little bit. Sometimes it's just you're not feeling that flow, and catcher communicates with the pitching coach, the pitcher communicates with the pitching coach, and ultimately you see a lot more pitchers come out in this game than you used to.
All right, so we have a pitching change here. Shelby Jones leaves as the Cowgirls have struck for 3 runs. They've got 2 on with 1 out in a 6-4 game. Struck for 3 runs in the top of the 3rd. They have knocked Shelby Jones out of this game. And on comes the senior from Strawberry, Arizona, Racy Miranda. Her 16th appearance, 7-3 record. Has struggled of late. You'd like to see her get back on track in this high-pressure situation.
I have seen some segments of a lot of success from Racy, and also just an overall maturity.
Aubrey Jones trying to take a page out of Haley White's playbook. We saw White squeeze home a run for the Utes in their 6-run first inning, and Jones was trying to do the same thing here.
Sometimes these pitchers, I mean, it's just a situational story for these pitchers, and she knows her teammates need her right now, and she's going to do everything she can to make it happen and hold this lead.
Jones squaring to bunt again as the runner takes off for second. Now the throw back to third as Jake Hughes had sprinted off the bag. And so Schneidmiller takes second base. Base hit to the outfield here could tie the game.
Few deep breaths will go a long ways for Racy in this situation. And we might have a leaving early situation.
I believe that's what's being talked about right now.
Utah is challenging the call that the runner left on time at first base. This play is under review.
All right, so Utah challenging that Audrey Schneidmiller had left the bag at first a little too early.
And these coaches study, they can't just challenge the whole game. They have 2 challenges. They study even the counts that certain runners will run, what kind of leadoff they're doing. They study everything. And at the very least, this changes the momentum here. Yeah, I mean, I know they have a few extra cameras than we have, and you think, well, who cares about the first base runner? Nobody's paying attention, but these coaches are analyzing everything, and that's going to be really close in that situation. If Utah wins it, it's going to be by a hair. But I know that the teammates of Racy have wanted her to see success. She's done so much off the field work. I heard that she was the winner of an extremely tough challenge that Utah does at the beginning of the season, where they bring the alumni in, and she won the whole thing. It's kind of an hour and a half of everything you don't want to do, and it was a pivotal moment of her turning the corner to say, hey, I'm here to stay and make a difference. So I know the teammates here are wanting to support Racy out there and give her some success.
So we are awaiting the ruling of a Utah challenge that Audrey Schneidmiller had left first base early on a successful steal of second. And it's a big potential out because you'd have 2 outs in the inning, that runner at third base, instead of second and third with 1 out. We showed you the rule book on obstruction when that came up last night. This is the NCAA official definition on a runner leaving early. Certainly Utah would not want
After further review,
ruling
the
on the
call
field.
on the field is confirmed. The runner left on time. This is Utah's first challenge. They have 1 challenge remaining.
All right, so Utah loses the challenge. A successful steal of second from Audrey Schneidmiller. And all of a sudden, the freshman Aubrey Jones, with a base hit to the outfield here, could pull Oklahoma State even. Cowgirls trailed by 5 runs at the start of this inning. They've scratched across 3 so far. And there's a called strike to the freshman out of Gaylord, Michigan. And the only out of this inning was Claire Tim's sac bunt.
Yeah, that she executed beautifully. But at the very least, maybe giving Racy a little time to calm down.
Swing and a miss. And now the underhand feed, as the home plate umpire had stuck her arm out to each direction as to say it was a dropped third strike, and Utah is fortunate that Aubrey Jones didn't keep on running towards the bag.
And that's that heads up. You see Haley White calling for that as a leader, as an anchor. Same with basically everybody in that infield was, and you overthrow that ball and there's 2 runs that score, so was a really important out there.
Castillo takes high and inside. That's a big strikeout and a confidence booster for Racy Miranda, inheriting a couple of base runners in this spot, trying to keep the lead intact. Castillo a ground out her only time. And takes a called strike over the outer third.
You can hear those balls ripping into the catcher. You can hear the sound of the pitches. Racy throws hard. I don't have any, I'm not doing it in real time, but she is throwing hard.
The bunt is down, barehanded and in time. Terrific play made by Kayla Lyon. Castillo bunting for a hit in that spot, and the Utah catcher throws her out. The Cowgirls strike for 3. They're right back in this game. It's 6-4 Utah to the bottom of the third. Take you back to the bottom of the first inning. Utah 6 runs on 6 hits and knocked Oklahoma State starting pitcher Presley Downing from the game.
Yeah, the Utah was on fire at that point, but in the culture that we're in right now, there's no sure lead.
We have seen this Oklahoma State team time and time again erase big deficits. 3 runs for the Cowgirls in the top half of this inning, and it's just a 2-run lead for the Utes, who batted around, sent 11 to the plate in that 6-run first.
And this is where you want to pretend like if you're Utah that you're not ahead, because seeing how quickly that happened, you've got to just start building and building and building to add to the 6 runs.
Sion Noli leads off. Peyton Crank, Jolie Mayfield against Crandall here in the last half of the 3rd. Our bread and butter is that changeup.
Yeah, it really is something special. As a hitter, it's just, you feel like you're counting 5 seconds before you can swing at it.
Talk about putting a pitch on a string.
Putting it on a string and throwing it consecutively, you don't see that either. The idea of that pitch is to keep people off balance, batters off balance, and you know, the pitchers that can string 2 together and throw it for a strike is even more difficult. That someone's not going to wait on and make you pay. So
2-2 here on Sion Noli, who had an infield base hit in that 6-run first. It was also a costly drop 3rd strike on what should have been the final out of the inning that allowed Utah to tack on a couple more in that first frame. This is popped up to shallow right, and a nice running catch made by Godwin for the first out.
Excellent job by Godwin. I mean, that's nowhere near where she's playing, and with the depth of the right fielder and the position of the first base, she's the obvious choice to run that down, and did an excellent job there.
1 down in the Utes half of the 3rd. Peyton Crank, the freshman, coming up. And hits this one hard, but Godwin stops it and throws her out at first base.
Godwin's acting like a pro over there at second, and I thought that she was sort of making an appearance over there yesterday, and really putting some nice plays together.
Two down, here's Jolie Mayfield, who reached on a costly drop 3rd strike in that first inning. It was the final batter Presley Downing wound up facing.
Oklahoma State is trying to take the tempo back of this game, and they're doing a great job of it. If Jolie can...
Line drive gloved by Jones, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Riley Crandall. A shutdown frame delivered by the senior, and we're through 3 here in Salt Lake City.
Big O Tires has more than 460 locations nationwide. Chances are there's a location near you. Owned by someone in your neighborhood, we offer a wide range of diagnostic, repair, and routine maintenance services, backed by one of the best national service warranties, because everyone in our community deserves legendary care. Big O is the team you trust.
Hey, grab me one too.
Our word is our bond. So when we say we're on it, we're on it. Turning big dreams into bigger deeds. Doing the impossible and then doing it again. Because we live by the Cowboy Code. We stand together for what's right and for what's possible. Oklahoma State University. The code calls.
Oklahoma State, they put themselves right back in this game with 3 runs in the top of the 3rd. They knocked out Shelby Jones, the Utah starter, and they trailed by just 2 as they get ready to bat here in the top of the 4th.
Cowgirls definitely have a plan here, and there isn't a big reason why they would think they couldn't come back, because they've scored and scored and scored this year, and played some really tough competition leading up to conference.
Tough non-conference scheduling, always something Kenny Gajewski has been a big believer in, despite the strength of teams in the Big 12. 4 runs on 6 hits, 5 left on base for the Cowgirls, including the potential tying run last inning when Racy Miranda came in. Now she'll have to deal with the top 3rd of the Cowgirl batting order here in the 4th. Tia Warsop leads off. Hitless in 2 at-bats today. Rosie Davis, Carly Godwin after Warsop.
She definitely was giving Noli over there on first base a run for her money with her hits yesterday. She's had to be really disciplined with that injury she's coming back from, where she wears a boot if she's not playing, which is just crazy that she can do what she can do.
Hit the other way. That's a fair ball. Leadoff double for the 3rd straight inning for Oklahoma State.
There was a display of speed right there for Warsop, gliding like it was nothing all the way to 2.
Only her 4th extra base hit all year.
Well, again, this field can make you go crazy. It looked like it was going to be out of bounds, and then it was just right on that line.
Rosie Davis doubled to start Oklahoma State's 3-run 3rd. And facing Racy Miranda for a first time in this game. Miranda missed all of last year. This is her 3rd year at Utah after 2 years at Cal State Fullerton, a powerhouse in the Big West. Alma mater of the great Judy Garman.
Yes, and they did name the field after her, didn't
Sure
they?
did, and they've got a classic every year, the tournament they play in late February in Orange County called the Judy Garman Classic.
I don't know where that puts me, though, because all these people that they're naming fields after were like coaching when I played. And she wasn't like in the last year of her career either. But she was a real great down there in Fullerton. And they always had such beautiful flowers on their campus when we would play there.
Two and one. Amy Hogue did not want her team to relax at all this weekend if they got out to a big lead. And Oklahoma State punching back with so much time left in this game. 2-2 here on Davis.
Racy does seem like she's in a rhythm. It's just a matter of mixing it up. You know, Cowgirls are no strangers to someone that throws the ball fast and mixing up those speeds and locations.
Low for ball 3.
And that looked like the makings of possibly a off speed dropping off that corner that she just didn't hang on to. Sometimes the best strikeouts for a pitcher are the one that it's almost impossible to hit. That wasn't ever going to be a called strike, but the batter helps you.
Another full count pitch. And it's belted. Left field, way back there. Goodbye. Davis has tied the game.
Really great comeback by Davis after the strikeout, and excellent swing. And when you can launch it out of this park, it's something special.
Her 5th home run across her last 7 games. The power surge continues for Rosie Davis, her team leading 9th long ball. And Oklahoma State has come all the way back from 5 runs down to pull even.
And Oklahoma State's coming up to the amount of runs that they're used to scoring and that their opponents know that they can score.
You knew this would be an absolute battle all weekend. And after a pitcher's duel last night, the offenses have shined in this game. 6-6.
And that's why last night was just so unusual to see Oklahoma State just come through with those 2 runs. And it was just a sleepy game at the bats. And it wasn't that no one was doing anything. It was just that timely hit to score the runs that each team was running up on a wall against.
1-1 here to Carly Godwin, who's been on base twice in this game. Can't help but feel like there's a lot of stunned and surprised energy in this ballpark right now.
I don't think anyone's leaving right at this point.
No, why would you?
It's kind of like, what's going to happen here? And look, you never know. You could see Shelby Jones come back in. I mean, it'd be a totally different person. Just taking some time to take some breaths.
Ball 3 to Godwin. Racy Miranda and her battery mate Kayla Lyon wondering where that one missed. A hitter-friendly count. Here it comes from Miranda on 3-1. And a line drive to right center field. The hits just keep on coming for the Cowgirls. It's a double for Godwin and 3 consecutive extra base hits for Oklahoma State to open this 4th.
And a great gapper there. I mean, not much you can do as Wilson runs it down, and Godwin's just hustling it out. But I think the Cowgirls are getting the picture on this field.
Getting comfortable.
They're getting comfortable, and it's a game of momentum.
Right now, all the momentum that was jumping around that Utah dugout after the first inning has gone to the other side. Here's Claire Tim. She doubled home a run in the first, dropped down a sac bunt in Oklahoma State's 3-run 3rd.
And this is where, for Utah, those 2 captains out there, Haley White and Jolie Mayfield, I think that you can see them talking and really trying to pump up the Utes defense.
Half swing. No swing. On the appeal down to Christina Drum at third base. 2-1. Good off-speed pitch. Had Tim way out in front. It's 2-2.
Very timely and that's what any pitcher wants, is to just get into that groove. They've got a lot on their mind, these pitchers. They not only need to worry about not walking these hitters, but they also need to be concerned with not giving them too many good pitches to take yard like what we just saw. So they've got a lot on their mind in this situation.
Racy Miranda came into this game for Shelby Jones last inning. Got the final 2 outs of the third, but the first out of the fourth has proven to be elusive against the top of the Cowgirls batting order. Another full count delivery on the way, and it hits her.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again. I thought Tim was kind of coming up on that inside there, and
I think that got her right on the elbow guard.
Yeah, that didn't look like it felt very good.
J.L. Austin, who replaced Claire Tim in the outfield last night, will come on to pinch run. There you see the Utah bullpen, and no action. So, like you said, I mean, if Utah does make a pitching change soon, it could be Shelby Jones re-entering the game.
Sometimes pitchers get worried about if they're seeing the bullpen movement and am I going to be pulled out and what have you. But in this situation, it's very clear that they're leaning on her. And
Utah checked into the weekend with the second lowest earned run average among all Big 12 programs. Haley Mastretti was terrific last night. In Oklahoma State, they have found their footing with the bats here today. 6 runs on 9 hits, and threatening to retake the lead for the first time since it was 1-0.
It's hard to believe we only saw 3 runs scored last night with what we're seeing today.
Towering fly ball to center. Wilson makes the catch as Godwin tags up and takes third base.
Really great sacrifice fly there. It was going to be tough to hold them back, but to hold the runner at first and just see this runner make it to third is probably a win for Utah at this point.
So they're at the corners with 1 out, and here's Lexi McDonald, who had a 2-run single in that 3-run third. It was just her 5th hit of the year across 20 at-bats. Pulls back the bunt attempt. The throw cut off by Haley White. J.L. Austin steals second base. And that puts a couple in scoring position for Oklahoma State. Austin, with a ton of speed, steals her 11th base of the year.
And I think that's a play where I'm assuming that Haley has the green light on letting that through or not. Situational.
Utah's got to dig deep here. They've watched a 5-run lead go by the wayside, and now just trying to keep this thing tied. Infield at normal depth for the Utes. As a called strike comes across to Lexi McDonald.
Well, and this is back to the basics for Racy of, you know, hey, let's not try to do too much. Let's maybe take 3 things and do those things really well and get the defense off the field.
No swing again on the appeal.
With every action on these hitters, it's more information for the battery here for Utah that they're coming close to tempting the hitters.
There's a called strike over the outside edge. And Miranda fills the count. Bouncer to second. White recovers, but the go-ahead run comes across. It's an RBI ground out. Hold on.
They might want to.
I think the pitch clock may have expired there before Racy Miranda let it go. There appears to be some confusion as to what just happened out there, but Lexi McDonald is standing at first base.
Haley White looked like she would. That ball was like a parakeet on her shoulder. She was turning around with the ball on her shoulder. And I would assume that
there doesn't appear to be much of an argument from Utah.
We'll hear what they've.
So now McDonald is being sent back to the dugout. Well, third base umpire Christina Drum was very animated as she came in and explained what she had called. But I don't think anything changed. It's an RBI ground out for McDonald. Runner at third with 2 outs. And here's Audrey Schneidmiller, who takes a called strike. That's kind of a mystery to us. I mean, you've been around this game for such a long time as a player, a coach, a commentator, and not often are you stumped by something that happens down on the field.
Yes, I thought we'll wait for clarification, but I thought that you could take a choice of maybe 2 different things, and I might be wrong on that, but maybe that was the choice to get the runner to third.
Two and one. So the Cowgirls from 5 runs down to a run up and still not finished here in the top of the 4th. 3 runs and back-to-back innings for number 21. Ball 3.
This will be a huge confidence build if Utah can get out of this with limited damage.
Hit hard, gloved by Haley White. And just for good measure, throws on to first base, but I believe she kept that off the infield dirt. Cowgirls surge in front. 6 unanswered from Oklahoma State, and they lead 7-6 here in Salt Lake City. Saturday is for the Sluggers here in Salt Lake City. It's 7-6. Oklahoma State moving to the bottom of the fourth. Utah jumped out to a 6-1 lead thanks to a 6-run first, but only one hit in the 2 innings since then against Riley Crandall, who's done a nice job in relief of Presley Downing. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma State bats have woken up. 3 runs in the 3rd and 4th innings here to jump back in front.
Yeah, Utah needs to make a statement here right now. There should be such a sense of urgency for them. Again, I'd be acting like this was my life depended on this inning and what they do. You can't have the goose eggs across the board, nor do the coaches want to see that, and just lean on one inning of scoring. Utah knows they can do it, and they need to build upon their lead here, or build upon their score here, and at least tie it up. We saw how difficult that was last night.
Well, Mia Gomez, who has not batted since she collected 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the 6-run first, will try and get something going for the home team. Gets jammed, rolls it slowly to first, and McDonald wins the race to the bag for the first out. Not often does Mia Gomez not barrel one up, and that time got jammed on a good pitch from Crandall.
Yeah, they've tried just about everything else on her, and that one worked. She just got out there and didn't quite get all of it. The little dribbler, which is a dream come true when you're pitching to such an elite hitter like Mia.
Danica Wilson, first ball swinging, and it's gloved by Davis. 2 quick outs.
And again, this just fuels the Cowgirls. Posse's got to come out and ignite this offense here of Utah. They've done it before with 2 outs. They've done amazing things with 2 outs, and I think with the way this game has gone and what can happen with people even scoring runs themselves by bombing these hits out, I think that there's only so many outs left in this game.
Posse hitless in 2 at-bats, lined out and flight out. Takes a called strike from Riley Crandall, who had really been struggling coming into this appearance, but has looked good so far in relief of Presley Downing, and so much so that she gave her offense enough time to take the lead back in this game.
Well, and there's probably not enough said about when those pitchers can see their offense scoring run after run after run. I mean, that has to do something for a pitcher and keep them loose and doing what they do best. Pitchers don't succeed by being tight and calculated and guiding the ball to the catcher. They do much better when they can just do the things that they've been working on and have some kind of fluid motion. And their arm probably doesn't hurt as badly either when they're doing that.
Posse pounds it to right center field. On her way to second, it's a 2-out double.
Really impressive by Posse. That's so aggressive for her to not even question taking a single on that or even rounding it. She knew it all the way. She knows this field. And again, had she not been hustling and sliding it ahead first, it would have been a little too close for comfort.
5th 2-bagger of the year for Shanti Posse. And it gives Kayla Lyon an opportunity with Posse in scoring position. The 8th hit for Utah. And their 3rd extra base hit of this game. Lyon has one of them with an RBI double back in the 1st inning. She had just barely missed a home run.
Yeah, she's seeing the ball really well right now.
Well, she's going to see it even better after she puts on the glasses.
Yeah, I can only dream that, I don't know, Bill Walton might have had glasses on that like that, or some old school basketball player, but I don't remember being given that option.
A called strike to Kayla Lyon, who flew out to right field her only time against Crandall. That was in the second. One ball, one strike.
Lions come through a time or two in this pressure situation.
Two and one.
And it's great to take this pitcher deep in this situation. The longer you can hold off the pitcher, the more opportunities you'll have to get that pitch that you're looking for. These batters are looking for a specific pitch. They're not just guessing. And that's why they look so deliberate when they swing.
Haley White, who's got 2 hits, is on deck.
It's that off speed.
First free pass issued by Riley Crandall in her 3 innings of work.
And this is the moment as a captain, leader. This is what you want.
Five of Utah's 8 hits in this game have come with 2 outs in an inning. See if they can keep the 2-out magic alive here. Haley White, base hit right field. Posse touches third. Here she comes. Game tied. Haley White, 3 for 3, and it's 7-7 in the 4th.
And that is what a senior leader, captain can do for you. Absolutely clutch, ice in her veins. There's no question she's waiting for her pitch, working the count.
Now, Haley White has 3 of Utah's 9 hits and has gotten the home crowd back in it. The Utes respond after Oklahoma State had jumped back in front with the 3 spot in the top of the inning.
Proctor feels so steady, and she too has had a lot of success as a nice balanced hitter and done some big, great things. Now, she's still a sophomore, even though it seems like she's much older. And
oh, it hits her. It bounced up there and got a piece of Proctor. That probably prevented a run from coming across, depending on how far it would have gotten away from the home plate area. But Utah, with the hit by pitch, they have loaded the bases. All of this coming with 2 outs. And Sion Noli scheduled, and we'll see if Crandall stays in the game.
you could see Crandall kind of looking over at the bench, and you know, it never feels good, but you also want to feel like you can work out of some of these situations, and I'm sure there's a decision to be made here.
She is going to remain in the game and face Sion Noli with the bases full of Utes.
Well, this is equally as confident building for Crandall. I mean, it's a long middle conference season, and you know, Ruby is an incredible pitcher, but getting support from an additional pitcher is only going to help the Cowgirls extend their season this year. And I think sometimes the coaches are thinking ahead and teaching in these moments.
Called strike to Sion Noli. Got an infield base hit in the first inning. Popped out her last time. Trying to put the Utes back in front. Utah had opened up a 5-run lead after the first. Now tied at 7. And it's low and in.
These Utah hitters have been able to show a lot of patience. I mean, I know there are those more obvious balls, but there's some that they've let pass by that were not called strikes, and you appreciate that discipline that they show.
Off speed, Noli did not pull the trigger. It's 2-1.
That is so hard to hold back on that, and those pitchers can just make you look so silly up there sometimes with how nice their spin is and the speeds. That's that extra slow changeup.
2-2 here. Utah is pulled even after watching Oklahoma State take a 1-run lead in the top half of the inning. Crandall trying to keep it tied. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-2. Strike 3 called. Right at the belt. And Crandall freezes Noli for the 3rd out of the inning. But Utah puts together a 2-out rally, and they tie the game. Haley White, a run-scoring single, and we're tied at 7 after 4.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Smith's. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
The official partner of getting back in the game. Whatever that looks like for you.
BK, ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv.
So all out-of-market games, live or on demand, plus all your favorite sports on ESPN. We need to tell the people, Carl.
We're doing it right now.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. All out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
Seven's on the board. No shortage of offense here in Game 2 of this series after Oklahoma State by an eyelash outpitched Utah 2-1 last night. Into the top of the 5th inning we go, and Aubrey Jones, true freshman shortstop, leads off against Racy Miranda. First ball swinging to the gap in left center field and off the base of the fence. Oklahoma State, for a 4th consecutive inning, begins it with a double.
That doesn't hurt. I mean, we call it table setting, and that was definitive, and it's not like Utah's playing so close. It's just they're taking it right to the you can't really play that far back and get anything done as far as those balls that drop in, but excellent job.
Among the Cowgirls' 10 hits, 7 have gone for extra bases. As Castillo bunts the first one foul. Tried to bunt her way aboard last time and was thrown out by Kayla Lyon at first base. Castillo 0 for 2, but after the leadoff double and with the top of the order that has done so much damage in this game to follow, it's an obvious choice here to have the bunt sign on to try and get Aubrey Jones over to third. Pulls it back, takes ball 1.
Cards are being shown on how important just this single run is. The absolute single run, and you can see Coach G looking at what looks like a phone. That is not, again, I want to remind everybody, he's not texting his wife right now. That is the new system.
I thought maybe he was pushing back the dinner reservations.
Yeah, he's got the phone in hand.
Utah tried to get Aubrey Jones off guard there, and
there was no call there. We had a huge lead. Catcher throws it down, and no calls being made there.
It's 2-1 here on Castillo. And she drops down the bunt in foul territory. It's 2-2.
And this just gets so frustrating. Sometimes it can be harder than you think to get that bunt down, but when you're coaching, you just stand over there and you just can't believe it. You just doesn't even have to be fancy. Just get it down.
Bunt sign not on here with 2 strikes. Castillo spoils it foul. Aubrey Jones led off the inning with a double. Another 2-2 to Gabby Castillo. And it's just off the outside, full count. Tia Warsop on deck. Top 3 hitters in Oklahoma State's lineup have combined for 5 of their 10 hits.
Yeah, they are an explosive top half of the order for sure.
Reached for. That kind of works like a sacrifice bunt. Able to hit it to the right side of the infield and get Aubrey Jones to third base with 1 out.
She's saying, phew, I moved the runner. Because this looks a lot different with a runner at third. I mean, it puts the pass balls on edge. You can do all sorts of things and score that run.
And takes the pressure off Warsop to get a hit. Just got to put the ball in play. She doubled her last time, 1 for 3 in the game, and knocks this one into center field for a go-ahead hit. The Warsop not wasting any time going after the first pitch. And in the blink of an eye, Oklahoma State retakes the lead.
Yeah, and I think looking for that pitch that you like early in the count with some of these pitchers is not a bad idea.
Tenth RBI of the year for Tia Warsop. Cowgirls again cashing in the leadoff double. And here's Rosie Davis, who launched a 2-run home run over the left field fence her last time. And fights this one off foul.
She is way at the top of the charts with RBIs and executes when she needs to.
Couple extra base hits on the night for Davis, who doubled back in the third. In the midst of a red-hot stretch at the plate. Outside corner, good spot there. And Racy Miranda in front, 0-2. A little bit of sunshine peeking through the clouds as the sun sets on this final Saturday of March in Salt Lake City. Utah's first Big 12 home series. They opened up conference play with a statement 3-game sweep at Arizona State. And lost 2 of 3 last weekend at Kansas. Trying to bounce back after losing the opener of the series last night. A 1-2 pitch. And Davis takes low and away for ball 2.
In the Big 12, people just continue to beat each other up. There are some crazy things that have been happening, even yesterday, with the walk-off the BYU had against Kansas.
Golfed into foul territory and gloved by Sion Noli for the second out. In protect mode there with 2 strikes, and Miranda was able to induce an awkward-looking swing from a hitter that has had a lot of comfortable-looking swings during this stretch.
That's what you dream about as a pitcher. I mean, I put down my pitching hat at about 8 years old, so I can't speak too much about how it feels, but man, the pitchers that have had success, they know how to get ahead. They know how to keep those batters off balance, and they're usually in somewhat of a flow and have a little swag out there. And you see that at these elite levels.
One and one here on Carly Godwin, who's been on base 3 times, 2 hits and a walk. And she has matched a career best 3 runs scored. Tia Warsop was in motion on that pitch that was fouled back. 1 and 2 here. Warsop broke a 7-7 tie earlier in this inning with a go-ahead RBI single. It's the 3rd different time in this game Oklahoma State has had a 1-run lead. Utah's been able to answer back each of the last 2. Running again is Warsop, and a perfect throw down to second from Kayla Lyon. She's caught stealing to end the inning.
Incredible, absolutely incredible, getting over there and making it definitive.
Time with them, so it's like I can't really hate you, so I have to like get along, and I really appreciate getting to know new people.
Well, Shanti Posse and the Utes have swung it well in this game. 7 runs on 9 hits, but they trail number 21 Oklahoma State 8-7. Coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th, it'll be Peyton Crank, Jolie Mayfield, Mia Gomez, 8-9-1 in Amy Hoag's batting order against Riley Crandall, who was again given a 1-run lead in the top half of this inning. And that is just foul down the left field side off the bat of the freshman Crank.
This is that shaded time of night that the outfielders are sitting out there in the blazing sun, and we have the reflection off of the Huntsman and University of Utah Medical. If you ever need any medical, this is the place to come. We see helicopters come across on occasion, but it's a really funny time of night for our outfielders to really engage on what's happening in the shade.
I didn't think I'd need my sunglasses this late in the game, but sure enough, that glare coming right off of that building.
And I've got the window pane helping me out like a visor right now.
Great shots from our crew, producer Natalie Newton, director Bob Pearson. That slow off-speed pitch, Crank able to lay off of it.
What I also love is back in the late 80s, early 90s, they talked about this campus being landlocked, and I think my dorms were where this field is right now.
Wow.
And all those buildings were like a golf course. So they found some land.
Check swing, no swing. Susan Eads is the first base umpire, was appealed to there. 2-2 on Crank, who knocked in a run with a first inning single.
You just want Crank to stay within herself and, you know, keep swinging. It's at this point, it's not going to do any good standing and watching. You got to battle hard in this situation.
Swing and a miss. Crandall strikes out Crank, her third of the game.
That was one of those that Crank definitely wants back, but you just feel like it looks good to you, and then when you see the replay, it's nowhere near, but it can happen. It comes at you quick.
One away. Jolie Mayfield was scheduled, but Amy Hogue has gone to her bench. Emily Capobianco, reserve catcher.
I've seen, as they call her, Capo. I've seen her. She's a captain. I want to mention that. Very well liked, great leader, and I have seen her do some amazing things. Comes out of a very successful program out of California.
A senior from Upland, who led Utah with 8 home runs last season. Had a couple RBIs in the series finale last Sunday in Lawrence.
Some of those home runs have been pretty timely, like in the last innings, and they call it a walk-off. She's done some great things.
Ball 2.
So hard to come in like this cold, but they work really hard to keep these players ready to go at all times.
Capobianco delivers. A pinch hit single, the 10th knock of the day for the Utes.
And that is why her teammates look at her like a leader. You talk about coming off the bench, cold as ice, and sizzling down to first base, and just such an unselfish player, and she's done her job, and again, just really incredible.
And Jolie Mayfield re-enters to pinch run. And here comes Ruby Malin. Well, you knew we'd see her at some point. And with a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 5th and the top of the order coming up, it appears Riley Crandall is done. And last night's star, the reigning co-Big 12 pitcher of the week, Ruby Malin, will be summoned here to try and get some outs down the stretch. We've got a pitching change in the bottom of the 5th. often used Ruby Malin, who threw 125 pitches last night and completed her 9th game in Oklahoma State's 2-1 win over Utah, has been summoned here with 1 on, 1 out and a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. Leads the Big 12 in those 3 categories among the nation's best. And we'll see what she's got left in the tank. This is not an unfamiliar spot for her to throw the day after throwing a bunch of pitches.
And I'm going to run through the scouting report on Ruby Malin one more time for those of you that are maybe just tuning in. Elite pitcher, disciplined pitcher, throws the ball extremely hard, team leader, but the Utah hitters need to jump on her right away.
Gomez first ball swinging, taps it foul. Mia Gomez had a couple really impressive swings against Ruby Malin last night. One was a 7th inning single. The other was a fly out to the warning track and left. See the 2 hits on the stat line for the freshman today. Both of those in Utah's 6-run first inning. Gomez takes on the outside corner.
Some of your best choices are going to be early in the count, and it's a little frustrating when you get behind early with a pitcher like this, because she could throw just about anything at you.
Nice block from Schneidmiller.
Utah has shown a lot of balance in their pitch selection. There's only been a few times that they've been caught watching.
Two and two. This is power on power here with Malin pitching against Gomez.
If you get the best of the pitcher with the amount of velocity that's coming, it's usually sails pretty far.
Way upstairs, a full count.
And it's a different feeling as an ace, as a starter, to come in late. Not that she's any stranger to it. But you see this young, mature freshman just battling. Seems to not have a lot of fear. The personality is just even kill, and it's great because you can't have a bunch of hyper-wired players all on the same team. You need all kinds of personalities.
Payoff pitch. Slow bouncer. Malin has it. Only play to first as Mayfield is up to second. 2 outs in the inning. Malin wins that battle.
Well, and that would have been too close to leave that. But you kind of wonder. Great defense on Ruby there.
Danica Wilson, 1 for 3 in this game. And a double last night against Malin. Outside edge, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's good. She's nodding her head like it's nice to have an understanding with the umpire that you know what's going to be called a strike, and just jumping on the next one you see, the good swing.
Line drive, base hit right field. Mayfield being waved. Here's the throw, not in time. Wilson comes through.
That is so big by the Danica Wilson freshman, and she was even looking at maybe taking second, but they were covering it there. A lot of teams let that go, but good job on the Cowgirls. But that is so aggressive. But again, you got to play to win and not play to not lose. And the Utes are on their feet, and super excited in this Dumke Stadium right now.
So Wilson wins the battle against the great Ruby Malin. And we have 8s on the board. Each time Oklahoma State has taken a 1-run lead in this game, Utah has answered back, and now the umpires are getting together after Kenny Gajewski came out of the dugout.
Oklahoma State is challenging the call that the runner left on time at second base. This play is under review.
And this is just one of those situations that we keep seeing come up on these runners leaving early, and you ask yourself, is it a momentum killer? Is it kind of like calling a timeout? Or is it really a question of them leaving early?
Well, I think the other side of it, too, is Oklahoma State, they've got 2 challenges in the back pocket, and you get a little later in the game on the cusp of the 6th inning here. Why not use one of them and see if maybe this one turns out in your favor and, you know, maybe keeps you in front?
Absolutely.
I think it's rather obvious Mayfield still had a foot on the second base as Malin released it.
I would say she might have even been a little late.
I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, we might see the base running coach say, hey, and look, I was always taught to cut it close, you know, and make the bench yell out that you're going. Give them havoc over there. I always loved watching the runners that would just stress out the bench. They'd stress out the other team. You want to draw the throw. You want to make everyone think you're leaving or even leaving early, and because it's just something that's going to be really rare for them to call in real time. Yes, we have this new challenge thing, and you know, you see coaches save them up until the end, like this scenario, just to kind of calm things down.
You'd think after some of the angles we just showed that this would be a relatively quick review, and sure enough, here come the umpires.
I think they're trying to make it faster too with the mics, and let's just
left on time. This is their first challenge.
As we suspected, I mean, I think Kenny Gajewski is just thinking to himself, what are the odds we're going to use both of those challenges before the game is over? And kind of let that one fly, and it didn't land for Oklahoma State. So the game's tied. And here's Shanti Pasi, who doubled and scored a run in the 4th.
You think about the reward if she truly did leave early. What the reward would be there, a big out of the inning.
Would have been a big pendulum swing back in favor of Oklahoma State. And what's been a wild back and forth game here in Salt Lake City. Utah, you thought maybe they'd set the tone and not look back after scoring 6 times in the top of the 1st, but then the Cowgirls answered back with 6 unanswered runs of their own. And we've had 1 run scratched across in each of the last 3 half innings.
And it goes without saying, this is exhausting. I mean, I didn't even do anything last night, and I woke up this morning and felt like I had been in the game. And you think about tomorrow's early start, it seems like these teams warm up quite early, and it'll be a quick turnaround, and whomever can take this momentum away, it'll be so pivotal for tomorrow's start.
In the dirt, it kicks away, and Wilson takes second.
Good heads up running by the freshman Danica Wilson. And usually you have if you're on the speed chart, you've got the green light when you see those bobbled balls behind the plate. You don't need the signal for that.
Up high, a full count. Kayla Lyon would be next.
Anywhere in the grass, Danica's going home 100% all the way. She's got the speed for it, and I think at this stage you're going to see nothing but aggressiveness out of Utah.
Full count pitch, and Posse walks. Well, that puts 2 on with 2 out, and Kayla Lyon, who's been on twice in this game, coming up for the Utes.
She has her share of RBIs here, and which tells me that when runners are out there, she can deliver.
First pitch swinging, popped up, and gloved by Carly Godwin for the 3rd out. Utah pulls even again. Danica Wilson ties the game at 8. Capturing some of yesterday's pitching excellence, both Oklahoma State and Utah have turned to the Game 1 starters in relief of this 8-8 contest after 5 innings. Haley Mastretti, a tough luck loser yesterday, complete game, 6 hits, 2 runs allowed. Ruby Malin was just a little bit better, but Mastretti has a chance at a shutdown frame here after watching Oklahoma State score 7 runs across the last 3 innings.
No real place to hide at this point in the conference play in these 3-game series. They definitely get to know these pitchers. They become very familiar, and you know, as you saw at the end of the game yesterday for both pitchers, as well as they both did, you know, there was a little bit of fatigue settling in towards the end of that game last night. And I had thought I wouldn't be surprised if Shelby Jones came back out, you know. You just never know. And here we have Mastretti, who had so much success yesterday.
She will face Carly Godwin here. Godwin has been on base 3 times, and she was in the batter's box when Tia Warsop was caught stealing to end the top half of the 5th. First one's in there. Godwin, Claire Tim, Amanda Hassler scheduled. Bouncing ball to third. It kicks away from Mayfield, and Godwin is on base again. So it's not quite the leadoff double that Oklahoma State had 4 straight innings leading into this one, but It is a leadoff base runner in a tie game.
Yeah, that was the great ricochet there that's hit so hard that you almost have a chance to throw him out. For those who kind of missed where that ball was headed, right to Shante Posse was right there, the shortstop, and bobbled it a little bit. That's why she couldn't quite get it over there.
Now Claire Tim squaring around a bunt. Has already dropped down one sac bunt in this game. It was back in the third inning. Has also doubled home a run and been hit by a pitch. Bunts that one foul.
Yeah, there's no question that Coach G wants that runner over to in scoring position. He knows his hitters can take it from there, so to speak.
Two and one.
Good job, Proctor, behind the plate, jumping out. You know, you have to be concerned with most of these runners for the Cowgirls. They do have speed.
Drops the bunt down this time. Mayfield bare hands and throws out Tim at first base. So her second sac bunt pushes Godwin into scoring position with one out, and Amanda Hassler coming to the plate.
Really nice for Mayfield to pick that up, because that's one of those that you just kind of have your momentum going. You feel like both catcher and corner feel like they have a direct line to that first base, but you always want your third baseman to take priority, which she did, but it was dropped in there so close that sometimes you get that collision. You love it as the offensive team when defense is colliding and creating chaos for themselves, but that was a great job for her to just pick that up and look so smooth. And
Kenny Gajewski will get a little more speed out there at second base. Kaya Booker. A little pinch run here for Carly Godwin. Amanda Hassler delivered a two-run single against Mastretti last night. First ball swinging here to the gap in right center field. It's carrying, and it one-hops the wall. Booker got a late jump, but the throw eludes the cutoff gal, bringing home the go-ahead run for Oklahoma State. It's an RBI double for Amanda Hassler, and these two teams just keep trading punches here.
As fast as Booker was preparing to tag the whole way, had Utah been able to hit that cutoff, just fell short on the cutoff. There was ended up being no play. I mean, it would have been close, but.
And now the first pitch to McDonald hits her.
Now, I know you don't have to make an effort to jump out of the way there, but you can't lunge into it either. And I remember them saying, well, you didn't try to get out of the way. Well, now they just, I mean, why try to get out of the way, right? These free passes are costly.
And remember that runner that came home was an error to start the inning.
Yeah, yep. And again, coming back to haunt you.
Hassler's 150th career RBI, putting the Cowgirls back in front here in the top of the sixth. And again, Oklahoma State, they continue to produce a ton of extra base hits in this game. 8 of their 12 have gone for extra bases. Now Mastretti trying to limit the damage. 2 on, 1 out. Audrey Schneidmiller, who's got 2 hits today, in the batter's box for Oklahoma State. Mastretti pumps in a first pitch strike.
Good job getting ahead. I mean, Utah does love double plays and usually have sound defense, and they're hoping for that right now to just get this momentum back, get back in the dugout, and get something done.
Kenny Gajewski is going to take Amanda Hassler out and enter another pinch runner. Macy Graff appearing in her 25th game, has primarily been used as a pinch runner this year. Schneidmiller takes upstairs.
And she's taken a generous lead out there, and that kind of speed and lead off, you again can have a shot to score in a lot of situations here.
Close miss on 1-1. It's 2-1. Haley Mastretti, the third different pitcher used by the Utes here tonight.
You've got to have that plan A, B, and C always. This just gives Mastretti so many other options when you're ahead like this. And you've got a pitch to burn. And
bounce to third, foul ball. Well, Utah fortunate it was foul because Mayfield did not field it cleanly.
Yeah, she was trying to take that hop out, and sometimes the velocity, you know, gets the best of you.
Another foul ball off the bat of Schneidmiller, the Cowgirl catcher. Good old-fashioned Big 12 shootout here in Game 2 of the series. Another foul ball, still 2-2. The 12 hits that Oklahoma State has matches a season high. Also had 12 hits in a game against Grand Canyon earlier this year.
And Grand Canyon is not really an easy outing. They've built quite a program over there.
Here comes the 2-2. Strike three called. Mastretti sits down Schneidmiller. 2 outs.
That is so big to be able to win that battle, and she really just painted that corner and kept it down. I remember standing out there in the outfield and say, keep it down. You know, keep it down or it'll be a problem.
Called strike to Aubrey Jones, who's 1 for 3 with a double.
And again, getting ahead just swings that momentum.
The entirety of Dumke Family Softball Stadium engulfed in shadows now. Stadium lights starting to take effect.
New lights. So we've got some nice coverage out there. They've changed the technology so swiftly when it comes to lights. Got to keep up with the next best thing.
To the backstop. And both base runners advance. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a slow bouncer. Posse has it. In time. The sure-handed shortstop makes the play as Oklahoma State leaves a couple in scoring position, but the Cowgirls back in front, 9-8 to the home half of the 6th. Twilight time here in Salt Lake City, 9-8. Oklahoma State, 21st ranked Cowgirls, a 1-run lead over Utah. You could see every time Oklahoma State has struck and gone in front in this game, Utah has had an answer. And the pressure on the Utes again to respond here in the bottom of the 6th, trailing by a run at home. Ruby Malin in the circle came on to get the final 2 outs in relief of Riley Crandall last inning. And we'll try and keep this 1-run lead intact to the 7th. Haley White, Kennedy Proctor, Sion Noli, the 3 scheduled hitters for Utah.
And this offense knows they can do it. It's just really being smart. Each batter having a quality at bat, I think it's really important, of course, always, but especially given this situation. Runners are very much at a premium right now.
Haley White, 3 for 3. A run-scoring single her last time. First ball swinging here. An easy play for Rosie Davis. 1 pitch, 1 out. Kennedy Proctor coming up. As the sac fly has also been hit by a pitch. Starting in right field here in game 2 after being Utah's catcher in the opener of the series last night.
They've been bringing in different pitchers, Utah, with a different catcher.
This is way up there, right side of the infield. Godwin waiting for it to come down. 2 outs. So 2 quick outs recorded by Ruby Malin, although 2 outs has kind of been a kryptonite for Oklahoma State pitching in this game. 7 of Utah's 11 hits have come with 2 outs in an inning.
Yes, Utah doesn't mind getting going on their rallies with 2 outs, which I think is probably drives the coach nuts, but look, every team has their personality, and Utah sometimes has taken a little while to get going in some of these games and had a lot of success at the end of the game, so they're hoping for that here.
Sion Noli 1 for 3, infield hit back in the 6-run first, and takes ball 1 from Ruby Malin.
There's been so much talk about Ruby Malin that she has not even hit her peak yet. That she's still got years to go in pitching. And now we have options.
Sure do.
Professional league. You can take care of your body and not just burn out. Give it everything you got in your high school career. You actually have a chance at a pro career.
Hit hard and past the shortstop Jones. It took a wicked in between hop. And Noli reaches here with 2 outs.
Really big time swing right here. Just hit so hard. I mean, no shortstop's scared of anything, but when the ball's coming like that, it's just kind of hard to explain unless you're the one that the ball's coming towards, but it's coming very quick.
Anna Reimers will come on and pinch run for Sion Noli. Well, they give Aubrey Jones an error. I think that would have been a highlight reel play if she would have made it. With how hard that ball was hit and the tough hop it took on the dirt.
Yeah, you can't. Sometimes you don't have time as a shortstop to meet the ball. It comes so fast.
Jones able to handle this one off the bat of Peyton Crank, and just like that, the inning ends. 2-out base runner, but that's all for the Utes. And we're off to the 7th. City 9-8. Oklahoma State in front of Utah. The Utes had a 5-run lead after the first inning, but the Cowgirls have shown a ton of resilience. They have matched their season high in hits. And Haley Mastretti, her 2nd inning of work in the circle, will try and keep this thing 9-8 to the bottom of the 7th. It was a 1-run win for Oklahoma State last night, and they've got a 1-run lead into the 7th tonight. Gabby Castillo leads off. The run that Oklahoma State got against Mastretti in the 6th was an unearned run. And a leadoff error came around to score. This one's rolled to short. Shanti Pasi throws out Castillo. 1 gone.
Feeling a little familiar between these two teams right now.
Sure
it's just a matter of who's gonna break it open. Posse picked that up like she owns the place here.
Back to the top of the order. Tia Warsop, 2 hits. Multi-hit games from the top 3, and Kenny Gajewski starting 9. Bounce to first, an easy play for Noli, who fielded that while her left cleat was on the base. And 2 quick outs here to start the 7th for Haley Mastretti. Rosie Davis, who hit that 2-run shot, which at the time had brought Oklahoma State all the way back from 6-1 down to tie the game at 6-6. The team leader with 9 homers has also added a double today.
Utah fans didn't like that. It's fun to see the crowd get into the balls and strikes and feel the temperature of the crowd.
That's in there. Utah has Jolie Mayfield's spot, then Mia Gomez and Danica Wilson scheduled for the bottom of the 7th, and it may feel like a little deja vu. They're in this same spot last night, down a run, with the top of the order getting an opportunity against Ruby Malin.
And even last night, I don't think you could have asked for a better table setting. It was just one of those things that did not work out, and both teams can't win the game, right? So many great games happening in March and so many different sports right now, from softball to baseball to basketball to gymnastics. It's just sometimes hard that everybody can't win, but that's not really why we play the game, right?
Another line drive foul off Rosie Davis' bat. That's interesting. Both of these teams use different starting pitchers in this game, and then their second options didn't see any time in last night's contest, and we wind up right back where we started in this series. Mastretti for Utah and Malin for Oklahoma State.
It's like a solid merry-go-round, and again, you'd have to have those plan A, B, and C.
Oh, Mastretti knocks it down and throws out Davis. A hot shot
Wow.
back to the circle. And fortunately, Mastretti's all right. She's giving a little attention to her glove hand, but I think she was able to knock that down for the most part with the leather. Last chance for the Utes. 1 to tie, 2 to win. Bottom of the 7th is next. Last chance for the Utah Utes, who thought they had maybe set a tone early in this game with 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning, only to watch Oklahoma State storm back. And the Cowgirls have a 9-8 lead here into the bottom of the 7th. Ruby Malin, who finished off a complete game 1-run effort last night, has pitched an inning and 2/3 in relief of this game, but would be in line for the victory if Oklahoma State can hold on here. And with Jolie Mayfield's spot, Brooke Tackey has been summoned as a pinch hitter. Put together a nice battle last night against Malin, but ultimately grounded out. Tackey still in search of her first hit, 0 for 11 on the year.
I'm feeling a little deja vu from last night. I'm sure she's feeling like that pitch was a little out there, and for sure in this situation you don't want to be fishing. You want to get a quality at bat here.
1 ball, 1 strike. Mia Gomez, Danica Wilson, top of the order to follow. Tackey, the true freshman from nearby Riverton, a reserve catcher.
And obviously the coaches are seeing something in her to give her these 2 opportunities now in very, very high stress situations.
Slow bouncer that kicks foul at the last moment. You're just kind of looking for something like that, a swinging bunt, a misplay. Something to spark a rally here for the home team on a night where runs have not been at a premium like what we had yesterday.
It again is a deja vu situation. It's almost like that 2-1 game last night, and here we have Brooke up again.
Malin misfires. It's 2-2. Trying to set the table for Mia Gomez. Swing and a miss. That rise ball gets Tackey. 1 down.
That rise ball gets a lot of people, and I'll tell you from experience, it always looks a little better than it really is. And Ruby's really honed in on that. She's really honed in on that rise ball, and she has a lot of the motion that you see off of the Shelby Jones Utah pitcher, where she's not scared to show some emotion and some excitement out there.
Gomez off the end of her bat, right back to Malin. That's a massive second out. She gets Gomez on 1 pitch. And Utah down to its final out. It's the freshman Danica Wilson.
Utes are trying to jump on that first good pitch they see, but sometimes the magnitude of the situation is when that happens, then you think, oh, maybe you should have waited. You know, I call it after the fact inspiration, but
strike 1 to Danica Wilson, who pulled Utah even back in the 5th at 8-8 with an RBI single. Oklahoma State would retake the lead in the top of the 6th. The bats have been silent since then. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So much composure, these freshmen. They seem calm. I don't know if it's like the duck on the pond that they're underneath the water flapping and flapping, but they sure seem calm and cool.
Reached for a comebacker. Malin the underhand flip, and Oklahoma State comes back to win it. The Cowgirls erase a 5-run deficit tonight in Salt Lake City. And for the 2nd consecutive game here, they hold on for a 1-run win. And Ruby Malin records the final outs in relief this time. Oklahoma State's star pitcher gets the job done for the Cowgirls.
They fought back, but it wasn't enough in this situation. But again, I think the score shows over the last 2 days that these teams are at each other's throats and they're close, and it's a matter of who's going to show up tomorrow early and consistently.
So the 21st ranked Cowgirls with 3 straight wins to open this lengthy road trip. And for Utah, I can't help but feel like this was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, you can't get it back, and it could be frustrating.
So 9-8 the final score. Oklahoma State holds on to win it. Cowgirls will go for the sweep tomorrow as Utah tries to salvage the finale. 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll be with you on ESPN Plus for Game 3 between the Cowgirls and Utes. For Natalie Newton, Bob Pearson, the great Laurel Simmons, I'm Chris Sylvester saying good night from Salt Lake City.